Hello, hello. What's up, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got done watching Game of Thrones, Season 6, Episode 9, entitled Battle of the Bastards. What a great title this is. And man, oh man, this whole season has been great, I think. I've seen some people online complaining about this season, probably mostly because it's the first season to veer away from the books because, well, there is no book past season 5, so now we're doing our own thing, and I just feel like the show is moving at such a faster pace. It's so unpredictable because it's doing things that the show usually doesn't do. We're getting some feel-good moments on this show. Let's start with how this episode began. We see Daenerys, who she pretty much just takes back order. She takes back control with her 3 dragons tearing shit up, which is incredible. For a TV show with a TV budget, I know it's HBO, but I don't know how they make the CGI for these dragons look as great as they do, but seeing her on top of one and them flying around and blowing fire into burning people alive and just causing mayhem, I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I love how these guys just come in and they're like, oh yeah, we're here to negotiate your surrender. And she's like, actually, we're here to talk about your surrender. And they're all like, yeah, right. And she's like, okay, what's this? And they tear shit up. Tyrion spares one guy's life to basically let him go back and tell your people what happened here, what you saw, what she's capable of. And I can't wait to see where Daenerys goes from here. I feel like she's become so strong, become such a strong character. I love her. She's one of my favorite characters, definitely, on this show. Ramsay is a cocky motherfucker. When him and Jon Snow have that meeting where he's basically like, yeah, just give up. Surrender yourself, surrender Sansa to me, and I'll spare you and pardon you and all this bullshit. And sure, he might have reason to be cocky because he has twice, if not more, the number of men in his army, so it makes sense, but I love how defiant Jon Snow is. I love how he just has a sheer will, hope. And he even pretty much thinks, hey, if I'm wrong, if we're going to lose, then fuck it, we're going to lose as men, we're going to go out strong. This is why Jon Snow is my favorite character. And I haven't talked about it since they resurrected him, but I can't stress enough how happy I am that they did resurrect him, that he is alive again, back. Just, this show would not have been the same without Jon Snow. I love when they go back and him and Sansa are sort of kind of arguing. I mean, as much as I loved that moment in the episode where the two of them was reunited, because that's something that we hadn't seen. We haven't seen the Stark siblings together since episode 1 of season 1. And it was such a feel-good thing. I loved it. But now you see how much kind of different they are. How different Sansa is and how much she just wants to win. And she's willing to do anything to make sure of it. You get Jon Snow having a quick moment with the Lady in Red, sort of saying to her, look, if we lose, if I die, don't bring me back. And I don't know what that says about him. Like, is he okay with dying? Maybe he's a little afraid of what the meaning of being resurrected is? What has it done to him? Who knows? But I love how she didn't just say, okay. She says, I don't answer to you, I answer to a higher being. And even Jon Snow's questioning, well, what kind of god lets this shit happen? And she's like, well, it's the god we have. So fucking deal with it. We get Theon and his sister, Asha Greyjoy. They go to Daenerys and they basically form a pact. They form a union to join together. This is something that I have been dying to see ever since really the beginning of this show, right? You have all these characters in so many different areas, lands, and territories, to after 6 seasons finally seeing them all come together. Seeing what will happen with these different personalities and stuff. I mean, we got a little bit of that with Tyrion and Daenerys now in the same group, but I like this. Also, this whole episode is really building around the battle, right? The battle of the bastards, and when you get the moment where Ramses comes in and he has Rickon Stark, the little brother, and he has him and he has his knife, and it's like, okay, he's gonna kill him. No, he cuts his restraints and tells him to run to your brother as fast as you can. And then he takes out the bow and arrow, and you're like, fuck. And the whole time, you know what's gonna happen. You know poor little Rickon's gonna die a horrible death. And the show, it milks it. He's running, he's closer to John. John has his arm out, and then boom, gets cut. And then to make it even worse, when the battle starts, even more arrows go onto the poor little kid as he's already dead on the ground. So then this battle was incredible. Just so much about it I loved. I loved how Jon Snow and his army were outmatched, outnumbered, but they still were doing their best. I love that huge fucking giant that they have and how he was just eating bow and arrows and they were still sticking out of him, but he was just going through, ripping guys apart in half with his bare hands. I loved it. And then even the moment where Ramses' army, like first they're just shooting bows and arrows, even at their own men who were already down there on ground, and Jon Snow just being covered in blood, covered in mud, just looking like hell. And I'm sitting there shaking because I do not want to see this motherfucker die again. And then they get closed in, and they start coming closer to them with their shields and their sticks and stabbing them. And I'm like, how the fuck are they gonna get out of this? How? Jon Snow is being trampled on top of, and it looked bad until look who showed up. Sansa shows up with more men, more armies. I don't know what deal she made with Littlefinger. Who knows? Really, who knows with that guy? But we'll find out soon. And then Ramses sees that they're being outnumbered, and says, fuck, and runs off. And I'm like, I knew it. I knew this would end with Ramses getting away, and he's probably going to go off next season, be an even more asshole villain, and see what happens here, because I did not think it was possible for them to get me to hate somebody more than Joffrey. But that's what Ramses did. He's done some of the most heinous and despicable things, and I for sure thought they weren't going to kill him. He goes off. They chase after him. Storm Winterfell and says, no, you're not getting away, basically. And Jon Snow just beats the holy fuck out of Ramsay, just punching him. There's a moment where he looks up at Sansa, and I swear I thought she was going to say, finish it. Fucking kill him. But she didn't say it, and Jon Snow didn't do it. He sort of, not spared his life, but said, okay, you know what, whatever, I'm not going to do this myself, put this on my conscience. And so they take him away, and then Sansa goes down to where he's being restrained, and she basically feeds him to his own dogs. The dog just rips his face off. We saw enough of it to really see this gruesome death. They killed him. Not only did they kill him, but Sansa had this smile on her face as she was walking away. Like, she's just a different person now. And for people who didn't like her before because they thought she was weak, and they thought, you know, compared to her sister, especially Arya, that she just couldn't hold up as a character, I like this. I do like that she's more hardened. She's more tough. She just views the world in a total different way. Doesn't trust people. Doesn't really. She's negative. But even though she had to go through being raped, even though she had to go through seeing all these people she cared about get killed, even though some fucked up shit happened to her, I do think she's coming out a better character, a stronger character. I was not one of the people who were hating on her beforehand, but I do recognize that she's much stronger now. So this felt like a season finale. Although Game of Thrones over the years have proven that their episode 9 is where the big shit happens. I'm pretty sure that's where the Red Wedding episode was. I think that's the same episode where Ned Stark was murdered. It's just episode 9 is their big episode. And then episode 10 is kind of their calm down. Is kind of their, okay, this is where we're going to set up to go for next season. So I like that. I love that this episode delivered. It was action-packed. It was never slow. So much going on. This show has not gone down. 6 seasons in. It's still strong as ever. I loved it, clearly. Let me know in the comments below if you too saw this episode, Battle of the Bastards. What did you think? Did it live up to the hype? I know, for me it sure did. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!